So you may, if you've been following the SureImpact webinars for a while, thinking, why did SureImpact, specifically Sheri, invite Susie in to do these 3 series of webinars? It's very different than what we've done in the past. And a lot of it is because the secret to growing high-performing nonprofits start with you, start with leaders, and the way you approach your work. And many of you may know, I published a book in 2014 called Impact and Excellence, which is all about how to create high-performing nonprofits. And the book it talks a lot about how do you use data, how do you leverage data. And I used to travel the country teaching people how to do this. And I gave them all the tools and now SureImpact, we give you all the tools to help you track, measure, and communicate your impact and value. And some organizations were having wild success. Some organizations were not having great success. So that led my curiosity to, well, I thought the difference was their ability to have the data to tell their story. So I started to dig deeper and understand what was keeping some organizations from not being able to implement these tools and thrive versus those who were totally implementing and thriving. And the pioneering mindset was one of those key determining factors that drove whether a nonprofit leader was going to be successful at creating these abundant, high-performing nonprofits that were raising all the money that they needed to help them grow and expand their mission. So because that is the foundational ingredient to a successful nonprofit, thought who better to invite to come speak to the SureImpact community related to how to create this within yourself and within your teams. So Susie, that's why SureImpact is so passionate about the pioneering mindset, because we know it helps nonprofits just soar and raise all the money they need to scale their impact. But I'd love for you to tell us why it's so important that organizations have a pioneering mindset.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to share my document camera with you. And don't worry, I'm going to pin this so you don't have to squint. Okay, here we go. Can everybody see that? So let's talk about your noggin. This is challenge number 1 for us that stands between us and a pioneering mindset. We have a beautiful brain. We have within this beautiful brain some hard wiring. And what I want you to write down on a piece of paper right now is the following. We are hardwired for survival, certainty, and scarcity. Survival, certainty, and scarcity. This is why we were able to survive as early humans when there were scarce resources, or when there were saber-toothed tigers in the bushes or whatever. And so that has served us well. However, now as modern humans, we can trot off to the grocery store and be just fine. We don't have to worry so much about scarce resources. But our brain, however, is still in this fight or flight survival mode. And it cranks out messages to us on a pretty consistent basis. And those messages are, there's not enough, and you're not enough, or I'm not enough. So these limiting beliefs, if we don't challenge them, we can end up in a kind of constricted survival mode in both our personal lives and our professional lives. But what I'm going to talk with you about today is the magic sauce. How do we get to our creativity back channels? And I promise you, it's all in your brain already. It's already baked into you. And this is how we access our intuition, our ideation, our imagination, and our problem solving. These are all components, in my opinion, of a pioneering mindset.